Hi guys, thanks for joining me. So today I'm going to take you through a quick sequence for the shoulders and also the hips. And for this sequence, we will actually need a yoga strap. Newsflash, this yoga strap is pretty much just a piece of fabric. So if you don't have a yoga strap at home, feel free to use a towel, an old t-shirt, a piece of long sock, whatever you have. So as long as they're long enough for you to secure and grab hold with both hands, you are sorted. So pretty much we're gonna get started in a cross-legged position like this. I'm gonna start with my maybe play around a little bit and identify which leg is a little bit more open or which leg is a little bit more sticky. So no 2 days are exactly the same. So what I like to do is just play around and have a feel as I jiggle around my sitting bones, just to figure around which legs feels a little bit more sticky. I definitely have to start on the stickier leg just to give the stickier leg a little bit more of a head start. So I'll go ahead and sit with my right shin in front of my left. And you at home, feel free to do whichever you feel like it's the most organic and most natural to you. So with my yoga strap at the moment, what I'm going to go ahead and do is bring it to the longest setting possible, because we're going to start with some shoulder flossing. And with this one, you always want to make sure that you don't force it. So just really think about having your arms pretty much as wide as you can go with the strap, and then keeping the elbows long but not super locked out. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and lengthen my spine up whilst I press my sitting bone down. Rib cage and belly button still firmed in, and then from there I roll my shoulders back and down into my spine. Keep that in place, but just moving the arm bone inside the shoulder socket to really floss the muscles of the rotator cuffs right here. I initially got introduced to shoulder flossing, I like to call it flossing, when I was still doing pole dancing many years ago. I stopped that now, but this is one of the tricks that I still hang on to. And even when I was still doing CrossFit, this is one of the, a lot of the time, mobilization and also warm-up drills that we would do if we're doing anything with barbells overhead. So now that we've done 5 reps of those, I'm going to go ahead and bring my hands just a little bit narrower, but still keeping the same amount of tension around the shoulders, the lats, and also the shoulder blade. So same, lengthening up, inhale, and try not to bend your elbows as much as you can. So I personally like to think about pulling the straps apart and pushing them away from my body. Yeah, it's pretty juicy. And this is great, especially if you love high intensity interval training, to either prime the muscles or as an active recovery day, just to floss out any of the gungs or the stickiness around the capsule of the shoulder there. So again, I'm going to do 5 repetitions in this amount of distance. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and wiggle it in a little bit more. Just know that each time you wiggle it in, it's just going to get a little bit trickier. So make sure you set the shoulder in place and make sure you really enhance the pulling of the strap apart and the pushing away from your body. Ooh, juicy. And try to really get through it without too much force or too much aggression. Like, we want to feel the tension, but we definitely do not want to tear any muscles today. And breathing definitely helps. I like to inhale as I roll over my head, and then breathe out, and then go again. 2 more. Last one. I don't know about you, but that feels super nice already. So I'm just gonna give the shoulder a break, because you could feel a lot of heat coming through the shoulder region right now. So just shake them out. I'm gonna go ahead and produce a butterfly legs produce a butterfly legs exactly like that. So just bring the feet together, knees apart, sitting up tall once again, and just play around as well with the angle of entry that you want to execute today, whether you want heels really close to your groin or further away from your groin. I personally like it to be slightly further away so that I can really feel the loosening around the back there, especially just below my lower back. So on the inhale, I'm going to go ahead and lengthen by zipping up from pubic bone to the base of my throat. Then on the exhale, just bringing the belly button forward, feeling it around the rims of the hip capsule there, and then let the sensation continue to lengthen up along your spine. And when you finally can no longer go anywhere, maybe it's just quite up high like mine is today, and just let it marinate there for 5 breaths. So breathing in, feel the belly button rise. And breathing out, feel the melting around the shoulders. Breathing in, belly button rise. And then breathing out, feel the tension just melt away as well. 3 more like that. See if you can breathe into your lower back and your kidneys. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Make it even longer and slower. And each exhale that you take is an invitation to just gently sink with the direction of gravity. Last breath in. And out. Just gently draw your navel into your spine to lengthen your spine back up. Bring your hands behind you and just gently point your knees up to the sky here. Obviously, if you're doing that sequence in the evening, you're more than welcome to stay anywhere from 5 all the way up to 20 breaths. So a more yin style practice here for the hips and also the shoulder. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and bring us back to the cross-legged position. So I'm going to once again bring the right shin in front of my left shin. And this time I'm going to bring my right arm up and then my left arm is going to go behind me. Now, if you manage to have a bind behind you where the top hand is cupping the bottom hand like this, then go ahead and do that. If you don't, that's what the strap is for. My personal recommendation is to shorten the strap a little bit, so because the more fabric it is, the easier it is to handle as well over here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do, right leg in front, which means right arm above. And then I'm gonna bring my left hand underneath. And then what I'm continually doing, for example, if the gap is that much behind me, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is each, maybe every 2 to 3 breaths, just allow myself to gently crawl down a little bit whilst I can handle the tension and also the sensations around my body. And if the hands manage to connect sometimes, just allow them to connect. So we're just gonna stay upright for at least 5 breaths. So just really think about pulling your left collarbone open, and then really think about pointing that right elbow up to the sunshine here. Now, because this is more of a tutorial style, I'm just gonna shorten it a little. Pretend we've taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull the strap apart, breathe in. And then as I exhale, I tip my belly button forward again, not the spine nor the upper heart, but the belly button has to go forward and continually to point my elbow forward as well. Juicy. We're gonna stay here for 5. Staying here for 4. Staying here for 3. You can start to feel the sensation around the front of your left shoulder capsule and along the triceps on that top arm. Just 1 more breath. Maybe just ease yourself a little deeper here on the exhale. And then just slowly come on up. Gently release. And just give the shoulder a couple more rolls, let the blood flow. And we're gonna go ahead and swap sides. So same. I'm gonna take the left leg in front, which means the left arm is gonna go up. Because I'm right-handed, definitely the right arm is going to be a little sticky in the internal rotation position. So I would say, please look after yourself and be super careful here. Let's check the ego out the door. Oops, not too bad today. So same. Pressing my bum bone down, I'm gonna lengthen up to the roof of my mouth. I breathe in, I lengthen. Imagine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breaths later, I breathe in, pulling the straps apart. And on the exhale, tip the belly button forward. I know this one is one of those things that I don't do enough, I have to admit. So if you are like me where it's challenging, it's sticky, now that we're in isolation, no excuse. So let's do more of these. Same, when you tip forward there, point the elbows forward to where your crown is pointed towards, and then really roll that right armpit back. Ooh, pretty delicious. This is where the yoga comes in, where the breathing comes in. So inhale, and then exhale. Oh, see how it naturally just rolls deeper without me meaning to. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one here, we can do this maybe just a little bit more juicy. Pulling the strap apart actively and carefully come on up. Ooh, beautiful stuff. Let's roll the shoulders, let the blood flow a little bit. And then from there, the next shape that we're gonna take is a deer pose. So I'm gonna bring my right shin forward and my left leg just to the side. I'm actually not encouraging people to go into a sleeping swan or the pigeon shape as we know it, just because in the deer, you actually encourage internal rotation in the back leg, whilst we encourage external rotation in the front leg. So it's a win-win situation. First things first, square off the hips, the belly button, the collarbone, and also your heart. And think about lengthening up through your spine here. Inhale. And then on the exhale, maybe just gently negotiate walking your hands forward. Now, you will feel sensation around your hips, whether it's the left and the right. That's totally dependent on your body. But try to remind yourself here to ungrip your butt cheek, because sometimes when the response kick in, we want to grip the buttock muscle. So allow the buttock muscle to soften as you breathe in, and allow them to release as you exhale. Oh, see that? I didn't even mean to go deeper. Breathing in. Again, just for this tutorial, I'm just gonna do 5 breaths, and at home, feel free to watch this and then do for as long as you require. So 2 more. Really sinking that right hip back. Oh, lengthening to the spine, relaxing to the neck and shoulders. 1 more breath. And exhale. Good, you guys. To come out, slowly walk your hands out and just swivel your other leg forward. Just know that your body might not be entirely symmetrical, so just have a little bit of patience here. Same thing, internal rotation, external rotation, a little bit of flexing around the feet just to protect the knee, rolling the hip square, belly, chest, and armpit, and now just negotiate, lengthening the spine. See if I can surrender and just let go. Yeah. No gripping around the buttocks, no gripping around the buttocks. Just soft, 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 and then melt. Long neck. Heavy shoulder bone. Plump and juicy inhalation across the ribs. And even softening through the jawline and also your teeth as well. Last breath in. And out. Good, and then we're gonna slowly come out and we're gonna lay onto our belly. And from there, we're just gonna do a gentle pec stretch on the right side and the left hand side. So what we're gonna do is lay on our belly here. I'm gonna bring my right arm to this right hand side, so elbows in line with my own shoulder with the palms facing down. Looking towards the left hand side here, just very gently rolling my weight onto the side. And then from there, just really allow that right shoulder to melt down a little. And with your back leg here, just execute any variation that is suitable for you as long as you can relax and stay there. Again, I'm just gonna pretend we're here for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And just go ahead and swap side after you've done anywhere from 5 to 20 breaths. This is pretty good. Stretching open the fronts of the pec there, especially if you've got a desk job. You're on your mobile phones a lot, like I am on certain days, just really opening to the front posture of the shoulder and the chest. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and from there, you could actually finish the sequence just by laying down prone on your belly, hands as a pillow for your forehead, or you can roll onto your back to finish in the normal Shavasana position. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I will catch you next time.